Hi and welcome to my channel. It has been a while since I last posted a video to this channel due to a number of reasons which I'm not going to go into. But I would like to say thanks to my subscribers, although they are still very few, but thanks to them for having been committed to the channel even in my absence. Thank you. I appreciate you guys a whole lot. Now, I'm back and we are going to continue our discussions about the diversity visa program. Our discussion today concerns a question that most applicants have been asking and which I've had to answer a number of times. It's the question about their chances of being interviewed. So, what are the chances of being interviewed for the DV 2021 applicant? Now, usually there are a couple of factors we consider when determining the chances of DV applicants. For example, and I think most importantly, is their case number. The higher the case number of an applicant, the lower the chances are of that applicant being interviewed. And if the applicant has a very low case number, he definitely has a very high chance of being interviewed. So that is not all. There's also the issue of the total number of selectees. When you have a very high number of selectees, those applicants who have a high case number tend to be negatively impacted when it comes to their chances. As you know, the DV program provides 55,000 visas annually. So if you have a very high number of selectees that exceeds the 55,000, it means many of them will not eventually receive a visa. And that is the case this year. There were more than 130,000 selectees for the DV 2021 program. Now, this means that more than 75,000 of these selectees will eventually not receive a visa. That's a reality. Now, so this is one factor that negatively impacts your chances as a DV 2021 applicant. Now, it's not only that, there's also the issue of the late start of the DV 2021 program. The program actually started at the beginning of March instead of last year, October. All right. And you know, the longer the duration of the program is, the more applicants will be invited for interviews and vice versa. So, because the program lost 5 months this year, there are many applicants whose cases will be affected negatively by that late opening. Many of them will not receive an interview notification because we have lost 5 months already in this program year. Then the situation of the embassies is another negative factor. The embassies, many of them remain closed to date. The State Department talked about a phased resumption of visa services, meaning the embassies will open gradually one by one. Now, for embassies that do not open soon enough or will not open soon enough, applicants who should be interviewing at those embassies tend to have a lower chance of being interviewed. All right. And there's another aspect about the embassies. Even when they reopen, they are going to observe COVID safety measures. So that means they will not operate at their full speed. All right. If they had the ability, for example, of interviewing X number of persons, they will not, because of the COVID related safety measures, that number is going to really be reduced. So these are all things that tend to negatively impact the chances of the DV 2021 applicant. So to answer the question, if we have to say what are the chances of DV 2021 applicants who have not yet received their notification, their interview notification letters, we can say frankly that it is low. the chances of DV-2021 applicants generally are low. All right, so this is not intended to scare you or to make you to be disheartened, but it actually is the reality, and this video is meant to paint a picture of the current situation. There are others I may not go into because of time, but let me just talk about the last one before I leave you, and it has to do with the reality at KCC. All right, usually when the results are released, applicants rush and send in their application, the DS-260, and then subsequently their required documents. Now, from June last year when the results were released up to today, applicants continue to send in their documents. You know, this is an issue that negatively affects the work that is being done at KCC. I think KCC in the future has to consider, or the State Department has in the future to consider maybe establishing something that will determine when applications and documents can be sent in. Something that is similar to the visa bulletin. You know, the visa bulletin, it determines the range of interview for a given month. We know that from this case number to another case number will be interviewed in a given month. Something of that nature has to be done when it comes to the sending in of the DS-260s and the required documents. They have to establish something, maybe they could call that a document bulletin, or perhaps application bulletin, which will determine the case number range that should send in their documents at specific times of the year. That's going to help them a whole lot when it comes to handling and processing of documents at the center. All right, but this is not happening. Such a framework has never been put in place. So imagine from last year, June, up to today, documents have been flowing into KCC. KCC is actually flooded with documents as we speak. So they have a very huge task on them, and this task has reduced their capacity. Already are working at a very slower pace than usual. So this is just, there are other factors that I could talk about, but these are the things that have negatively impacted the chances of DV 2021 applicants. So as I said previously, it's not intended to make you afraid, but it's a way of making you to be aware of the reality, so that at the end of the day, you cannot raise your hopes so high and then perhaps not receive one of those visas. So that is what I had to share with you in today's video. Thanks for watching. I hope it was helpful to you. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel to join my very few subscribers. And as I said from the beginning, I'm back and I'm going to continue posting informative and analytical videos about the diversity visa program. Thank you, and see you in the next one. Goodbye.